Hi everyone, thanks for joining me again today. So I want to share a short review of the Motu Origins Clamp Champ figure today. This is a deluxe figure, part of the 2021 wave. Can't remember which wave this is, maybe around wave 2. As a deluxe figure set, this toy is expected to come with some more bells and whistles than the regular standard issue. So for example, there are a few other deluxe figures in this series, including the Ram Man, Bassor Hordak, and the Battle Armor He-Man and Skeletor, which I'll talk maybe just briefly later on. Now for this particular toy, the main feature of course is the clamping action, which is in the form of a little accessory here that you can see. When you depress a button, it will then launch the pincers forward. There's also another clamp accessory which doesn't really do anything, it's just a piece of molded plastic, and it comes with an extra head which I have done a custom with, so we won't talk about it right now. Now let's look at the packaging for this figure. In addition to the standard red buzz rock pattern, the graphic, this packaging also features an image and illustration of the character himself, and we flip it around, you will see a much more well illustrated graphic of Clamp Champ facing off against Ninja in this case, and protecting King Grayskull from the evil warrior. In terms of the cross-sell, you can see a bunch of figures from the wave 3 I believe, including the two cats, Battle Cat and Pantor, as well as Merman, Roboto, Shira, and Zodak. These are from the second wave or maybe third wave of the Motu Origins. You also have the Battle Armor He-Man and Skeletor, which are also deluxe figures. Now, onto the figure itself. You can see that the Clamp Champ figure is a pretty standard figure for this series. Nothing special about it. This is unlike a lot of the special tooling that's used for the other deluxe figures. The armor is just Fisto's armor. Now if we were to remove the armor, first we undo these tabs over here, and we do have to remove the head in order for this to happen, and remove the armor. You can see that this is actually a pretty standard body, no different than He-Man, except that it is an African American or African Italian body in terms of the color. So this is pretty different from the other deluxe figures, like Bassor Hordak has his Bassor feature, Ram Man has his spring-loaded legs, and the Battle Armor He-Man had that rotating drum, and Battle Armor Skeletor as well. So this is quite unexpected and disappointing for this figure. This is, don't get me wrong, this is a pretty nice figure, but there's really nothing special about it compared to all the other figures in the series. The highlight of this set has to be the accessories that the figure comes with. This is a spring-loaded clamping tool that Clamp Champ comes with. When you depress this button over here, the grippers come out, the pincers come out, and they grip whatever is standing in front of it. Unfortunately, this figure is pretty disappointing. It comes with a very flimsy and wobbly peg that you can then put into the hands, and there's nothing molded on the shape of the figure, of the accessory at all. So when you put it onto the arm, it doesn't really seem like it belongs there. It just seems like you leave it in the hands. It's just a random piece of accessory that you can leave in the hands of any figurine. And it's pretty disappointing. You can tell that even the design of this pack is a very simple skinny pack, does not have any kind of embellishment at all. and you just kind of put it into the hands and it grips, and it works pretty well. The action feature works pretty well, but it is pretty flimsy and pretty weak, so you can't really pick anything up with it either. And of course there's this other clamping tool, this molded plastic. Unlike your standard figures, this has two gripping hands instead of one open hand, so it allows it to hold both of these accessories at the same time. But overall, I think this really kind of plays into one of the main criticisms of Clamchamp, which is that he's nothing more than a man holding a tool. Like, you could give it to any other character. He himself doesn't have anything special, except that he's given this particularly good clamping tool. So it's really quite disappointing, honestly. Now, most of you will probably know that in the past year we have had two Netflix series. One of them is Revelation, and the Masters of the Universe Revelation series has a character called King Grayskull, which had previously actually appeared in the MYP production series as well in 2002 thereabouts. And the only difference is that instead of a Germanic kind of character, this is now race swap to a African Eternian, a black character, which honestly I really like the portrayal of. So I proceeded to take the extra head of Clamchamp and made a custom using green stuff. Created these kind of hair, I don't know what you call these plates, I don't know. I also used some red foam clay to create this cape with some patterns to mimic the fur. It's a pretty rigid piece, doesn't really bend. And also I had an additional Origins He-Man that I cannibalized this harness from. And I do have to remove the part that holds the sword, because otherwise you'll push up against the cape, making it look a little bit strange. So now I'll put on all the custom parts. Alright, here's the custom figure that's been assembled. So you can see that it has two gripping hands. So what it allows us to do is to actually put the two halves of the power sword. These come from the standard Origins He-Man and Skeletor, and we can put them into the two hands of the custom King Grayskull. And you will know from the Revelation comic that this is something that he did, forging the power sword from two halves, and this is quite a nice look for it. So something that you can do if you want to. And here I have the custom King Grayskull standing next to Hordak. As you know, in the MYP series, this was what happened. Hordak was actually one of the was actually invading Eternia and was driven off by King Grayskull, although King Grayskull died in the process. So this Hordak is actually also a custom, but I will not talk about it today. So maybe next time I will share with you what I've done to create this custom Hordak. This is Buzzsaw Hordak actually. So there you have it, the custom King Grayskull, which I think is a pretty good upgrade for our Clamchamp action figure. And of course, other than the secondary head, all the other parts are still around, so we can always convert it back to Clamchamp if we want to. Alright, thanks for watching guys. See ya.